Okay, it's Thursday. We're heading into the Asian trading session. Actually, it's still technically Wednesday, June 19th. So these are the trades that we've closed and posted here on the performance page so far. You've probably already seen these in your dashboard. If you're not a member of the Forex automated trade signals, again, you would be able to log in and confirm each one of these, and you can see just exactly how long I was in these trades. And the stop loss and the take profits, things like that. Everything corresponds to what you see here. If you're not a member currently, you can always come back and just double check to make sure I'm posting my performance correctly. Seek to keep me on the up and up. Every once in a while, Michael might, post a pip off or something like that, and then he goes back in and corrects it. But we always post exactly what's in the dashboard. So far. And this is FOMC. So today, FOMC. So the other reason why I'm making this particular video is to just show you, for those of you who haven't used the service yet, and for those of you who have just started using the service, this is basically how I trade around the news. Very often, and FOMC is a little bit different, right? It's going to be different than a common or a typical economic announcement that we get maybe 8:30 New York time or 10 o'clock New York time. The reaction sometimes could be the same, but for the most part, it's a little bit different. It's later in the day, and there's very often a lot of positioning and based on speculation or comments and guessing for the most part. I mean, people sort of placing their bets before. I hate to say it that way, but sometimes that's just the way it is for some people. They really aren't spending a lot of time analyzing the data and following it and tracking it. Some people are just sort of positioning based on what they hear from other people. So anyway, there's some movement, there's some activity, and some of these trades started with the HL30, as you can see there with the short on the dollar Swiss. Normally it's 20 pip target, but it was 19 pips on my dashboard. Same thing for the most part, because we don't really take into consideration the pip spread. Now moving on, there was a loss there for 32 pips. It was a short on the euro dollar. I'll show you the charts there. And then we were able to readjust the position. I was able to readjust the position and start trading based on all of these breakouts as we see them. And at one point I had, right after FOMC, I had 3 trades open. Before FOMC, we had a total of 95 pips, including the 32 pip loss. So we had a profit of 95 pips before FOMC, and then I still had 3 positions opened. After FOMC, this is the pound dollar. So this is another trade that's currently in play right now, and the final target there, we're just about at the final target. So this is going to be another 55 pip move. This is the pound dollar. So the other trade here is the dollar Swiss. It's just a few pips away from that final target there as well. So this is another 55 pips. And then, so the dollar Canadian, we've already closed this trade. So the dollar Canadian has already, it gave us the entry with FOMC. And then, and it's not instantly, right? So FOMC, so I talk about the news, and sometimes people are concerned, am I jumping in the split second the news is released? No. Very often I have like 5 minutes. That's about the earliest that I would get into the trade. But I still have the advantage of reading the news, dissecting the news, going through the comments. I'm already prepared for the news. I've been trading every one of these events since 2001, and I keep track. So I have a share tip with you. And this is something that really helped me in the beginning. It was a lot of work, but it was the only way for me to gain all of that exposure and start to really understand and track the results of these economic reports myself. So you can follow along on a regular basis. But then back in 2001, I thought, I want to understand these events and these economic reports more. Like I want to read them and really know what I'm reading. So I would follow people like Steve Leisman on CNBC. He really used to dissect the reports even years ago. Same with Rick Santelli. I was big fans of those guys, and I still am. Whenever I see them, I shut everything down and turn it up and listen to them, hear what they have to say. I always have. But with with their commentary and their understanding, I also started tracking my own. So I started creating these 3-ring binders. I share this information with my coaching students. You don't have to, but it helped me a lot. So if it's something that you're really interested in, it takes a lot of time. It's time consuming. But I started printing out these reports, and then I started graphing my own charts based on the reports and creating my own graphs. So by doing that, so I had a 3-ring binder for each currency pair, the dollar, euro, pound, yen, Swiss, and every time a report would go out, and it was a lot of discipline, a lot of work, but I was busy throughout the day, and I would start putting in these worksheets into these 3-ring binders. And I could go back month after month or week after week on some of these reports, depending on which one they were. And I could see the trends and the history, and I was putting the report in there, and I made sure that I read every one of them. So it was a lot of work. So a lot of that is already tracked, but because you're not tracking it yourself, it's almost like it doesn't really set in as deep as it could if you did the work yourself. Like you're writing all of this out. So that's a tip that really might help you if you're struggling with understanding how these news events, the impact that they can or cannot have at certain times. You really want to take a hands-on approach to really understanding it. If this is your goal, if your goal is to eventually really understand this and trade this and become a full-time trader. Now, of course, I'm doing that already. So, in a greater sense, I'm doing it for you by you using the trade copier. But by using the trade copier, this particular trade copier, again, this is for advanced traders only. I've explained that many, many times throughout the week, and I always, tell everybody that's interested in the service, be prepared for the fact that I could have 2 or 3 or 4 trades open at the same time. And the reason that I want you to be prepared for that is because I want you to, number one, make as much money as I make, or at least in terms of pips. I want you to make the same number of pips that I do, which ultimately is going to mean more money. But what I want you to do is also be prepared for adjusting your lot sizing. Some people are in the habit, or already they're not really even paying attention because they don't really take the time to study it, and they're really using leverage that they probably shouldn't be. So in order for you to have 3 or 4 open trades and then prepare for the negative retracement on some of these. Now, on this example right here on the dollar Canadian, this was a continuation breakout trade. That's the other reason why I wanted to point this out. And you'll notice that there wasn't the 3-pip entry in the next candle. So this is very common. If you watch some of my videos when I talk about or I teach the continuation breakout trade, this is a really common pattern. You get the signal, and then I know where my 3-pip entry is, but the next candle doesn't provide the 3-pip entry. It turns around and goes back up, and it retests the level that it broke out of. That is so common. It doesn't always happen, but it's common. And then later on, it pulls back down. So this is such a common pattern. I mean, it happens. When I developed this method, I learned about this retracement and the retest of the level that it broke out of through John Bollinger's methods. So I'm a big fan of John Bollinger. I've studied him. I attended one of his seminars in Los Angeles years ago. So this is one of the things that I remember him really focusing in on and talking about. And as I was creating this technique, that started to happen a lot, and then it really settled in with me where, and this is something that he said, this is healthy for the most part, and I'm not quoting him exactly, but for the most part, this is what you want to see. It's a safer entry. It confirms this move to the downside. You just have to wait. And then the news pushes it right through that 3-pip entry, and then you can see within just a couple of hours, it hit that 55-pip take profit level. It works like this with news events like of this caliber. It moves like this. So very often with non-farm payrolls, if it's an event that's such where it would create a reaction like this, I would trade the continuation breakout trade, let's say, and I have on the euro dollar, pound dollar, and dollar Swiss, and they run to their 55-pip take profit targets within 2.5 to 3 hours. Because the movement is so strong and the expectations or the shift or whatever it was, the reaction to the market, to that particular economic report. So that's exactly what we're doing here. Again, we've got the pound dollar just a few pips away, dollar Swiss just a few pips away from the final target there. So these 3 trades that I'm showing you here, in addition to the 5 trades that we already had closed. So that's 8 trades for the day. We're at 95, and then add, what is that? The 55 times 3, and then we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 trades. So we're going to upload the results here. If you're a current subscriber right now, you can log into the dashboard and you can see how long these trades were in play, and you can count the numbers. This is a 1 hour time frame. I trade the continuation breakout trade on a 1 hour time frame. This is the dollar Swiss. This is a pound dollar, and this is the dollar Canadian, which has already achieved its target 3 or 4 hours ago, and I believe that was already posted there. Yeah, I guess not. That should have been posted. Actually, let me try to refresh this page. I thought it was already posted on here. There it is. Yeah, I didn't refresh this page. I'm sorry. So there it is, 55 pips. So it's a 55 pip take profit when I'm executing this continuation breakout trade on the majors. and on the dollar Canadian and the Australian dollar. However, when I trade this strategy on the 1 hour time frame on the pound yen, it's a 250 pip take profit. We haven't had any of those yet, but they're coming. So prepare because when we get them, it will read 250 pips or even 150 pips because I actually scaled out at the first target. So if it looks like it's going to stall, on the pound yen on that continuation breakout trade, and I've done this for many years, if it looks like it's going to stall at the 150 pip mark, I'm going to close the trade. It's sometimes just because of the amount of time, maybe 2-3 days, or let's say 24 hours has passed, because that's a bigger trade, right? It's covered a greater distance. Well, other things can happen. There could be another day, another event where it could turn it around and we would see a pretty significant retracement. But if everything remains constant and the structure is okay, then I let it go and I continue to manage the trade to that 250 pip target. Sometimes it hits the 250 pip target in about 3-4 hours. It has happened. When I was trading this strategy with my students and my subscribers back in 2008 and 2009, during the global financial meltdown, the carry trades were unwinding. And I would get continuation breakout trades on the euro yen, pound yen, and dollar yen. Dollar yen and pound yen. And the pound yen, again, that's the one I earned 250 pips. I had 3 of them in 1 week. So we ended up with 750 pips from just those 3 continuation breakout trades on the pound yen. We had other trades, right? We had other trades on the pound dollar and the euro dollar. But just with those 3 trades, it was 750 in that 1 week alone. Now, I'm not saying I do that all the time. What I'm saying is the markets are exciting. That's what I love about trading. I know you probably do too. You never know when these events are going to happen. Sometimes you can sort of see them coming and you can see them unfolding or unraveling and these events taking place. But they're fantastic opportunities. We don't know all the time. I mean, this week is not going to be like next week, and this week was not like last week. And that's one of the fantastic, most exciting things about trading. We get to earn profits like this. So this trade copier, this service, the Forex Automated Trade Signals, is for experienced traders. You're going to get multiple trades like this on days like these. You're not going to get one trade at a time like I do with the best Forex trade copier. That is for the inexperienced or the ones, the traders that really don't care. They just want a few trades to come in. They want to pay one time for the service. They don't have a lot of money. They don't care. They've got $100 or $200 in their trading account. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but there are 2 different types of traders. And then we've got the traders where they've got $50,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 or $100,000 in their trading account. And they want trades like this. So when I experience a loss, you can see just how quickly we can recover the loss and then continue and still close with almost 200 pips today. Today was a great day. Tomorrow's not likely to be the same. I can't promise that. Eventually, I'm going to get some continuation breakout trades on the pound yen for 250 pips, or they may even be 150 pips. And the trades that I have open right now, if they look like they're going to stall, let's say this one right here, if it looks like it's going to stall just a few pips away from that 92, then I'll take 91, I'll take 90, I'll take 89. It's a good trade. This is a 55 pip target, a 55 pip trade. So we've got 2 more trades that we're waiting for them to hit their final targets for 55 and 55. There's 110, and then we already closed this one for 55. This is the dollar Canadian. Right now we're waiting for the dollar Swiss, and we're waiting for the pound dollar to reach their targets, and then I'll be looking for possibly some reversals or maybe some continued movement after, of course, FOMC, paying attention to the dollar. We'll analyze the dollar, and we'll take a look at everything. So when I hit these targets, I close them out. We want to get paid. We're day trading here. I'm day trading. I want you to get paid. I need to get paid. And I'm going to take my profits at these targets. I know that sometimes they're going to go a little bit further. For example, here on the dollar Canadian, I know they're going to go a little bit further. But when I tested this method out year after year, from 2001 to 2002 to 2003, I was using a 55 pip take profit level. Very often, it'll go to about the 55 pip take profit level and not much further, maybe 2, 3, 4 pips, and then turn around and go right back up. So what I did and how I calculated and how I figured out this 55 pip take profit level is I went back and studied the daily average trading ranges, and then I had to figure out, once I had my entry, I know I'm giving a little history here. Yeah, if you've already heard it, I apologize. If you haven't heard it, this will probably give you a better idea of what I'm doing here. But once I figured out my entry, then I had to figure out how long I could hold on to some of these trades. So just because it cleared the 55 pip take profit level this time doesn't mean it's going to do it next time. So what I'm getting at is I stick to the plan. I need to get paid. I want to get paid. 55 pips. Excuse me. It's been a long day. 55 pips on a trade is really good. Those are good profits, right? If you're trading standard lots, which I recommend, even mini lots, but if you're trading standard lots, earning approximately $10 a pip, approximately, at 55 pips, you're making really good money. And we've been doing that all day long. We've got 2 other trades for another 55 pips. So you're doing really well. If you've got one standard lot on each one of these, many of my subscribers that use this service, they make $10,000, $5,000, $27,000, $38,000 in a month. Based on the capital. I'm not going to tell you that you can do that because it's really based on the amount of capital that you have and the lot sizing that you're using. I don't want you to overexpose your capital. I don't want you to take too much risk here. I know that this is exciting. What I want you to do is scale back if you want to participate in all of these trades, and I want you to study and analyze and understand these money management principles. It's what's going to keep you in the game. It's what's going to help you grow your account. You will see. It's what I did. I mean, that's just exactly what I did in 2001, and it's what helped me earn all of those losses. I've said many times, and you've probably heard me say this, I estimate that it cost me $300,000 in real money losses to learn everything that I've been doing for the last almost 19 years now. Obviously, I made some money during that time, or I wouldn't have been able to continue trading. But once I figured it out, this is the strategy. This is the way that I trade. I take 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades. They hit their targets. And then maybe another hour later, another 2 or another 1 trade will pop up. And then maybe after FOMC, I'll get 2 more trades. That's how I do it. I don't stop. I don't hesitate. I execute when I see the trade. I analyze the data. I incorporate both economic data, fundamental analysis, and technical analysis, both. I need those signals to confirm. That's exactly what you see me doing here with these continuation breakout trades. I get a signal, the news provided the entry, sometimes the news creates the signal, and then I wait for the entry. It's always going to be a little bit different. But that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm bringing both of those two components together, technical and fundamental. Economic announcements, economic data. I track it. I follow it. I highly recommend you do too. It's really fascinating. It's exciting. It's very time consuming to track the economic reports, but it really, really does help, and it gives you great, valuable insight. All right, so I'm not going to be posting another video to show that it hit that final target here on the dollar Swiss or the pound dollar. It is what it is, and I'm going to close it in just a little bit. We've got right now it's about 6:30 p.m. California time on Wednesday. So I'll be looking for other trades. If I close it, a few pips early, you'll see it in the dashboard and you'll know exactly what this was. But this is to give you anybody who was considering using the Forex automated trade signals, an opportunity, right? You want to know what kind of trades I'm doing. You look at this and you probably think, wow, has he got all of these trades open at one time? Or is it maybe 1 or 2 and then another 2 pop up? That's exactly what I'm doing. Sometimes it's not all of these trades opened at the same time. It's not. I start at the Asian session. That's exactly what happened here. The Asian session created the HL30 short here on the dollar Swiss. I let that go, and then later on I get the pound dollar at different times. Some of these, they're not always in sequential order as I actually execute them, because very often we just post them as I close them too. So I hope that helps you. So again, this is the last week to get in on the upgrade. If you've used the best Forex trade copier, you want to upgrade to this one and you understand everything that I'm doing and you're prepared to make proper adjustments to your account so that you can participate in all these trades. You don't have to have all of these trades. You can set up the trade copier. We use Social Trader Tools. That's the one that we use for this particular account. The other trade copier service is FX Blue. It's limited, right? And it's for a particular type of trader. This is for a more advanced trader that wants more money and has a better understanding of what's going on here. So again, you can limit the number of trades that are actually executed in your account. You got a dashboard, you log in, but all of that is in the explanation of the videos. And we've got Social Trader Tools, their technical support staff. They created it. They're available to help you with any of your lot sizing and settings and things like that, questions. And then I always recommend talking to your broker. Talk to your broker. I mean, talk to them and just bounce ideas off of them. Let them know how many trades sometimes you might want to have in a 24-hour period or during the London and New York session. Most of these trades will come in during the London and New York session. The best session for me, year after year, month after month, analyzing the data since 2001, is the New York session for me. Very often, the other 2 sessions are kind of flat or quiet for me, and I'll let them go. There's nothing for me to do. I don't get a signal, and then sometimes I get them, and other times it's more active during the London session. It really depends. It's all based on cycles. So again, I hope this helps. I'll be posting the total performance here and then sending out an email with today's total once we close out those trades and we know exactly where I hit these targets. All right, thank you very much. I hope you earned a lot of profits today. If not, consider using this trade copier. I'll do all the work for you. I work really hard at this. I work around the clock. Sometimes I trade 10 hours a day. Sometimes I trade 16, 18 hours a day. I've been doing this for a long time. Those of you who know me, I trade. This is all I do. I just sit and watch. I love it. I don't want to do anything else until I die, until I can no longer look at the charts, whatever it is. I mean, I think it's just fascinating. And days like this are just amazing. It's possible that tomorrow will be really slow and we'll only get 2 or 3 trades. It's possible that tomorrow we might get 5 or 6 or 7 trades. I have no idea. Every day is different, and that's one of the things that makes it really exciting. So far, as of earlier today, I believe we were up 1,119 pips approximately, I think, somewhere around here before today started. So we're really going to be getting close to about 15 to 2,000 pips for the month. I can't promise that next month's going to be the same. It might be the same. It might be more. It might be a little bit less. Who knows? It really depends. But this is starting to really shape up this summer. Very similar to a summer back in 2014 where we had really great months. We were clearing 3,000 pips. One month we had almost 6,000 pips, and this was in the summer of 2014. So I'm not saying that I'm going to make 6,000 pips next month. I hope so. But if the market gives me the opportunity, I'm going to be executing these trades. Again, be prepared. If you want to get all these trades in your account, adjust your lot sizing. But that's exactly what I do. It's starting to look like that. It's starting to really give me the opportunity to find some really great trading opportunities in these continuation breakout trades. Sometimes you never really know. Sometimes it'll be flat for a couple of days, and then you're wondering, wow, when are we going to get a good trade? When are we going to make some money? And then bam, it kicks in. You know how it works. If you've been trading for a while, you know that that's how it works. That's the other exciting thing about it, is you got to be ready. And this is an advantage of using the trade copier, is I'm always ready. You might be at work if you're working full time. You might be sleeping. I'm always ready. I've been doing this for a long time. So again, thank you very much. I hope you made a lot of money. I hope this made sense. Log into the dashboard, take a look at these trades, analyze these trades if you're trying to follow along with my signals and trying to learn the strategies. So it'll help you based on the amount of time it takes to get in, all of that stuff.